I'm 21 Average, and this is the Improvement Conversation. Thanks for being here with me. Today I'm going to talk about the hidden cost of being distracted. Recently, starting maybe a couple of years ago, I started to spend more time on social media when I first got it and later after I started getting more used to being on it every day. And I also started to communicate with a lot of people, sometimes like text people I didn't know, and live like part of my life online. And I've realized more recently that that's not really a good thing to do. And I've been making efforts to try to live my life in the moment and not live on a screen all the time and not live on a thing that takes away from what it actually is and what it means to be alive. Because I've realized that it's not just a negative thing mentally, but it's a negative thing in all aspects of our life. And we don't realize, but the more that we start to make habits where we spend time on a screen or we don't interact as much in person as we would like, we realize that we can use it as a way to escape from our problems. And so if I'm having like emotional problems, then I could have, emotional solutions online. But the problem is, these aren't actual solutions, they're escapes and they're outlets. Because if I'm having an emotional problem, you have to realize that the only way to fix the problem is to actually get rid of the same problem. And so, if you're simply finding another path to suppress the problem, you're not really getting rid of it. And this can lead to bad cycles because then the problem won't really go away. And then when it tries to show itself again, you'll need to suppress it even more. And so the way we can break this habit is just to do one simple thing, which is to remove ourselves from everything online that we don't need. And by need, I mean, like, if you think about it, what would your mom or your grandma or your grandpa or someone who hasn't ever used as much technology in their life as you, and someone who maybe wouldn't want to or would think negatively about such technology, and you can take their own teachings and your projection of what you think these people would think and say and do around their technology habits, and you can apply them to yourself. And I know this is easier said than done, of course, but if you really do just try honestly to take this into account, I promise you that you will find a lot more success, and you will have a place of guidance to go off of and to base your decisions off of. And this is kind of how I did it. I have thought about how my parents don't really use a lot of social media. I think maybe they use a tiny bit for networking for their job, but even that's like not super mandatory for them. And my grandma doesn't even have internet in her house because she doesn't really feel the need for it. So I think of these things like that I can cut out of my life, and I'll just name the things that I've cut out. I've cut out quite a few social medias. I don't use TikTok. I used to use it a little bit. I've basically cut out Snapchat. That was kind of my first social media, and it was actually a really cool social media, but I spent too much time on it, and I learned that I wasn't actually gaining anything out of it. I was just kind of having these halfway connections with people. Instagram, I still have an account because basically everyone at my school does, and I kind of feel like I probably should, just for like social reasons. I mean, I don't really think I actually need to, but I've set app limits, so I only use 15 minutes a day max, and realistically I only use like 5 or 10 minutes a day every other day. And it's really interesting because like when I set the 15-minute timer, it took about a week, and then I think my brain kind of realized like the max you can get is 15 minutes and then it's a hard stop, so it didn't even bother. And haven't cut off YouTube. I mean, of course I post on YouTube, but also I do watch a lot of videos on YouTube. But what I did is I turned off my watch history. And so this means that all you have is this subscriptions tab, which only shows videos from channels you're subscribed to. And this has been really awesome for me because it means that I can get exactly which creators I want and then just slowly unsubscribe and curate my feed so that I know exactly what I have and that I can get exactly that delivered to my YouTube. And I've blocked it at certain times on like my computer. I don't have the app. And I don't know if there are any YouTubers listening to this, but like I don't have the YouTube Studio app either, because I just feel like it's not really worth it. Like me personally, I just don't get a lot out of it. And I think that most people find distractions. Like for me, it's kind of the YouTube Studio sometimes, where like I'll just check and like re-roll the thing. Sometimes people will like post on Instagram and do that and like just see how many likes they get and who likes, and it's just like a useless waiting game where they don't actually really get anything out of it at all. And so I like to encourage you to just cut out these main things, because I feel like, probably at least 60% at least of your like online usage you could just cut out right now with like basically no negative impacts on your life at all. And I feel like if you do this, you will realize that, life is in the real world, not online. And you don't even have to do it right now, but like this first step is today. And then you'll probably bypass your limits or whatever, but just set new ones or make them more strict, or find a new way to put limits or to keep deleting apps, even if you re-download them when you really want to. And I guarantee that you'll make it to a point where you really are independent of these vices online that really hold us back. This has been the Improvement Conversation. I'm 21 Average, and I'm glad we got to talk. Thanks for listening.